I have owned CONY for over 9 months now, and I have been paid 9 times from the ETF. So today we're going to do a little breakdown. We're going to talk about how much money it paid out. We're going to talk about the price depreciation that we've seen because it has been dropping pretty crazily. And we're going to go into all the details about this fund. So if you're interested, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's jump right into the details. So what you guys are seeing here is my $1,000 high yielding stock and ETF account where I put $100 into 10 different stocks and ETFs, and we're tracking their progress. I have everything on drip, so we can see that CONY is actually down. It's down just over 3%, which is not good because we are reinvesting the dividends, and we've had some pretty crazy dividends so far. But I wanted to talk about this. So when we go to the 1-year chart, we can see CONY has been trading since September of 2023. So not too long, I should say. Okay, August 2023. So we're just over a year now, and it hasn't been great because in our 1 year, it's down 43.28%, which is crazy. Now let's compare this to Coin. If we go to Coinbase, we can see the underlying stock for CONY, if we go to the 1 year, is up 93%. 93. So there is a huge disparity between this fund and its underlying stock, which I am not a huge fan of. Now, that being said, we have seen some crazy distributions from this fund, and that's what this whole video is about, so let's talk about it. I'm not a CONY hater by any means. I do own a little bit of it, but this thing has been struggling, and I think that's fair to say, and I think it's good to talk about all of these things. So I'm going to go into the account, and we're going to track all of it from the very beginning when I was first paid. It's not letting me scroll down anymore. Let's try this. Here we go. Our first payment, which I was paid on January 9, was $10.29, a really good amount. And then we had a strong one from February, which was $4.60. I shouldn't say strong because that's a little bit low. But one thing that I think is really important is the consistency of these funds, and we know that the YieldMax funds are not consistent. But you can see every time I purchase it, I reinvest it back into the fund. In March, we were paid $7.47. And then we go into April with $13.31, a huge distribution from CONY. So $13.31. Next, we had another strong one at $12.05. And then we can see in June, $9.92. And then we can go to July, which is $9.90. So we did have some periods where this thing, even with Coinbase doing really well and the ETF falling, CONY falling, it still paid out some decent dividends. After $9.90, we had $6.85. And then September was our most recent one, which was $7.57. Now, this is not terrible. We have seen some really high distributions, and it has been insane. What I want to do now is throw CONY into a drip calculator before we calculate our total and see how this thing has played out against Coinbase stock itself. On the dividendchannel.com, using their drip calculator, we can see I have CONY and Coin. So we're going to chart 10K invested into both of these, and it's not as bad as I anticipated. We have still seen a total return from CONY at 54.82% with dividends reinvested, which is phenomenal. This is since the inception of the fund. So they owned it. This would be owning it longer than I have. With Coin, we've seen a 96% return, which is, again, insane. With dividends not reinvested, it's the same for Coin, and for CONY, it's actually more. Now, what does this mean? This means that those first dividends, this is what we see with NAV erosion, to put it very simply. Because reinvesting has gotten you less money, we've seen the NAV erosion drop. We've seen price appreciation, or I should say price depreciation happening. So with the price falling, you're actually getting less of your money every time you reinvest it, which is not good, and is not good for the long-term portion of a fund. Now, people will argue with Coinbase stock that because it is involved in crypto, there are cycles that go into it, and I don't disagree with that, but it's just not one that I would hold a large portion of for this reason. It's cyclical, it's hard to predict, and even though we've seen a total return of 55%, the last few months, it has dropped terribly. So, with that being said, let's check out our total. Now let's do the math, the fun part that we've been waiting for. When we auto sum this, we can see that the full amount CONY has paid me with my drip on is $81.96. So some math, we're going to do B11, and we're going to divide this by 9, And that's going to give us an average dividend of $9.11 every single month. So not too bad. A pretty decent amount of payouts. We see some low ones on the $4.60 range and some high all the way up to $13. I will be doing another video at the end of the year to see how much CONY paid me for the entire year. And I will be doing a video on Tesla, which I also own in this account and has been performing significantly better because of Tesla's run up. So if you are interested in those types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what your favorite YieldMax fund is, and I'll do a video on it. Thank you guys for watching.